Another best of 3 PvP. We love Protoss in this channel. In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it is MaNa. Currently king of the Protosses. He's king of the hill. In the top right, as the blue Protoss, it is Harstem. It's honestly looking like a Protoss versus Protoss king of the hill format. But, as I said, the next player they're facing is Bly, so it'll finally mix up. Finally be different. Denver vs. Seoul is happening on the other side of the bracket, and they will face Skillous. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong one. No, I'm looking at the right one. Yeah, you're facing Skillous. Okay. The North American and European brackets would look quite similar because all the Europeans make it to the end of both brackets. If you really know how to cook, ordering food gets disgusting after a while. Expensive. I have to remind myself that there are people who really do legitimately not know how to cook. I think people who can't make pasta and don't know how to read directions, I don't have extreme sympathy for them. Just because you could probably read a recipe and get most of it right, but you know, there's some things that are missing, I guess, that they don't over-explain. But in general, I have sympathy for people who don't have experience cooking. It's something very important when I grew up. Well, all my family members ended up being cooks. They'd always cook with mom. I like it. I think it can be some form of like a form of like meditation, I guess. Just like focus on what you're doing with your hands, right? Anywho, this is funny. We have a proxy robo. It's actually quite far away from Harstem's base, but then Harstem is absolutely proxying a Stargate. I mean, this is as close as you can really get. I mean, technically that's as close as you can really get. That's as close as you can really get. I found it, guys. This is as close as you can get. But it's pretty darn close. So this robo is very much so in a, well, it's not any closer, not too much closer to you, but you're not going to scout it. Position. Because the other proxy locations, like it would be here, or the equivalent would be here. Yeah, okay, the equivalent would be there. They're being scouted by Harstem. Went for 2 Adepts, by the way, as an opener here. Can afford too much when you go for a proxy Oracle as well. Into 2 Stalkers, and he's trying to scout what he can with his probe, but he's Adepts. Oh no! Oh no! MaNa actually letting them in. 2 Stalkers don't kill them fast enough. This is just a straight up mistake. I don't know if MaNa didn't have minerals or simply wasn't paying attention, because he was finding the Stargate, so maybe he was making sure that died, but this is very awkward. Good news is Shield Battery finishes in the nick of time, so 2 Adepts plus an Oracle against 2 Stalkers, I think the entire probe line dies, but with a Shield Battery and 1 Adept dead, it did mean the game continues on. But Harstem should have noticed something was missing. Something being literally anything at all. Did this Oracle see it? It did not. That's awkward. Only 1 Oracle is going to be available. No production from the Stargate whatsoever. And when you're up against a robo, one-base robo, wouldn't you want to build anything you can? Anything at all? Perhaps even a Phoenix. Send a Void Ray from across town back home. I don't know if Harstem's taking this seriously enough. He sees still nothing going on in the main base. He did actually see the proxy robo finally. I was waiting, the Oracle got so close, but oh, the supply block! Oh, that's painful. That's painful because he used a Chrono Boost. Oh, it's so painful. 2 more probes do go down. MaNa not working on an economy he would be used to working with, but warping in Sentry is pretty inexpensive so far. And most importantly, he's got that Warp Prism plus Immortal combo. 1 Shield Battery might not cut it. That Immortal really should have been out by now. Still 70-80% done. It's going to be a cancel on that Shield Battery. It's not a pylon, actually. A Force Field blocking out some of the units. The Immortal now of Harstem is out. It's going to try and do... Oh, no! I was going to try and save the day, but he got Force Fielded into MaNa's army. Really nice Force Fields there with the remaining energy on those sentries from MaNa. And now going into Micro Mode. He can now probably even elevator up, kill that 1 last Stalker that's very, very low, or a Stalker will get it, either one, and I believe this is too much. Harstem cannot handle this. He did actually repower the proxy Stargate, which is giving him an opportunity to cut MaNa's economy down, but he's losing all of his production down to just a Robo and a Stargate now. Or MaNa, I mean, he might be on fewer probes, is still mining enough to produce. Forcefield trying to take the better deal in the engagement. Doesn't really work out very well. It's just is microed over, so the probes pulled, trying to save some of their buddies' lives, work temporarily. This is truly desperate here for Harstem. These are basically build orders. Well, this build order certainly went in favor of MaNa. It could have been very different, again, if the Oracle double Adept attack had killed, let's say, 12 probes. Like, maybe this would have been really different. You can't afford any... Either afford another Immortal or, you know, Warrior units and not both, but... The harassment that Harstem was providing was not as good as the straight-up kick-you-in-the-face build. That's what MaNa was doing. Not sure how Harstem holds that better. Even if he had scouted it faster, even if he had like really been like 100% it's a proxy robo, like really fast. Not supply blocked and chronoing an immortal. That was awkward, but would that have been a big difference? Big enough? I don't know. It might have been actually, just because if he gets the immortal 20 seconds, 25 seconds faster, and then feels a little more comfortable. He goes into a warp prism much faster. Those units that were force-footed forward don't die. Talking real... I'm really guessing at the chain of events here, but maybe that would have been better. Maybe the ability to make a second Oracle and continuing to kill probes would have been just enough, plus not being supply blocked, right? Because the pylon wouldn't have died. Or building a Phoenix to chase down the Warp Prism. That was tough. I don't do build orders very well either. Yeah. I mean, that might be the most accurate analogy ever. It's just doing a build order. How hard can it be? People continue to mess up build orders even versus AI. Well, MaNa, thank you for proving, once again, that Proxy Robo is really good. The top right, up one. King of the Protoss. It is MaNa. The bottom left, as the blue Protoss, it is Harstem. The last of the TeamLiquid guys, right? TeamLiquid got knocked out by Vanya yesterday. I'm already advanced. Well, oh my god, I'm actually like looking at the other TeamLiquid guy and just derped really hard. It's not the battle of who's the best Protoss, it's the battle of who's gonna be the remaining TeamLiquid member. Jeez. One's using TL Harstem, some of the one's looking Liquid MaNa. Okay, that's my excuse for derping hard right there. Yeah, team kill. I didn't even think about it, man. Harstem and Clem joining TeamLiquid just before Katowice. I think 1 or 2 weeks before, but they kept it a secret, which was pretty cool. I 100% guessed it correctly without even knowing, by the way. I was smart. But really, really awesome pickups for sure. And now we have even more chances at TeamLiquid kills. The Clem's already through. Alright, so MaNa. Do we call that like a build order win? Especially if you kill the production on the Stargate. Maybe. Hard counter build orders.
Thank you for
they do exist, but I feel like they're like people will on like Reddit or in chat be like, we just got hard countered, and it's like, I don't think so. Like macro and micro still play a huge part in decision making as well, a huge part in how Starcraft plays out. Maybe mechanically less so than Brood War, but still, like, yeah, I would hesitate to even call something a hard counter. But, they do exist. And that seemed awfully tough. Awfully tough for the Stargate guy. Harstem once again going for a Stargate, but not in proxy this time, so... he hit the pylon, but funnily enough, MaNa gets back into the base before the Adepts are out and actually sees that the pylon that was missing was not used. I don't think he fit in a third gateway. with that. So that's a really nice double scout. And you know what? Harstem's like, I don't need it. Whatever, man. Shut up. Didn't want to do it anyways. MaNa also went for the pylon. That's not really being used. So Harstem also a little scared. Has to check around. You just gotta, after all. Especially for something stupid like proxying. Yeah, right there. Would be silly. But it happens. MaNa going for... Well, what could be safer, but then you add a gateway and you go for a War Prism, definitely not safer. He's going to go for an attack here. So while he's not actually using his proxy either, he is still going to go for the attack with 3-gate Robo. Still going to be the aggressor. Harstem changing things up, canceling the Stargate. Worst case is that, yeah, shield battery's going to have to be produced. Extra 100 minerals, little mess up on the mining there. But, I mean, sometimes you do this even... Say the probe didn't get back in and had no idea what was going on, and it wasn't a Stargate, people would still do this. Build a shield battery just in case, because they don't know what's happening, but... Point is, I don't know if it's really going to be worth not having this production, because it's... like last game, like it's like, well, maybe the Stargate's not exactly what you wanted, even though it can be useful. We saw Neeb defend this with a Stargate after all. But it's better than nothing. It's better than not having something else to produce from. When you're limited on only 2 gateways because your robo is extremely late, yeah? Thank you, KM Jedi Knight, for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate that. But this is really bad news for Harstem, who is, I feel like, totally unprepared for this. The shield battery does not really count as being prepared. If he had gone for a normal opener Nexus after Stalker Sentry or 4 units, what have you, and then into a robo, he probably already has the Immortal, and I'm feeling a little bit better for him, but... shield battery has done a pretty decent job so far. One stalker died from MaNa. Another stalker coming through here. Harstem is getting closer and closer to the Immortal, and a second shield battery. It's giving me more hope for his defense. MaNa gonna come in here, lose a stalker. He's trying to micro the best he can, but it's actually not working out as well as I would figure. Shield battery in the back also doing a great job healing up the sentry, so even as he tries to target fire them, they're not actually dying. Third shield battery about to finish, and most importantly, an Immortal has just popped out. Can MaNa actually win against this? Good force fields from him, taking out the sentries, finally taking them away from the shield battery. Well, it's out of juice anyways. And the Immortal does get its shield popped. First step in actually taking it down with Pure Stalker. Second Immortal being chronoed with urgency. MaNa just continuing to build stalkers. Those force fields were pretty good. Took away the option of MaNa having 4 force fields in, like 20 seconds. Now he's down to 2? Almost 2. Immortal is going to be target fired. Shield battery is alive though, and the fourth shield battery is on the way. Second Immortal is here, and man, I really thought Harstem was going to be blindsided by this, but MaNa is not actually getting this to work. It was another stalker as his War Prism goes into the main base, looking to distract Harstem, get him to miss splits, but if Harstem also gets a War Prism, well, that might just be it, but ooh. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. GG! Shield battery in the natural. Almost to a drinking stream. I drank yesterday. You fools thinking that you need to buy a drinking stream. They happen organically. think Harstem might have asked for a couple of minutes. All I saw was MaNa saying, okay. Now we're ready to go. Game number 3. Who's the best TeamLiquid player? Who's the best Protoss? The final map is Purity and Industry. Oh boy. 12 o'clock position, it is MaNa. In the 3 o'clock position, we have Harstem. Proxy Robo working out the first game. 3-gate Robo not working out the second game. Harstem going Stargate both games, then actually canceling it the last time. Delaying his Robo, but still holding against MaNa's aggression. What will happen here? Life full of mysteries, isn't it? You guys talking about veggies and sauce, and that's actually all I want right now. There used to be like this rice pilaf that had probably an insane amount of butter. That's probably what the sauce was pure butter. And like the frozen meal section, that used to be my jam. But I haven't bought it in a long time. You get Grub to 1,000 subs this month? Well, guys, I'm already doing a drinking stream for my birthday, which is on Tuesday. So just calm down there. Just calm down. I said if we got to 1,000 subs yesterday. I mean, if we get to 1,000 subs this month, yeah, I might still do a cosplay. We didn't actually agree on the cosplay though. TLDR, I don't know what I'm promising you guys, but I haven't promised anything yet. MaNa going for scout for any just, oh, I put my pylon here. I hope you freak out. He's actually gonna find it. He has not scouted Harstem's actual base to see the missing pylon, but he finds the pylon itself, and that's as good as, right? Even better, because I don't think Harstem realized he was scouted and is thinking, oh, he's not scouting here. Hopefully he won't actually scout the pylon. Mind games. MaNa, knowing that it's not anything being used in proxy, still does have to worry about it being a one-base build, though, because again, he didn't... This was not a check on a Nexus at the natural at this time. It wouldn't be down there yet. So he doesn't know if a Nexus is being put down or not, but both of them are actually planning on doing that. One person goes for double stalker, though, and the other person goes for... oh. Wait. I'm gonna swap. This is confusing me. Okay, double stalker, and then there's Harstem going for the sentry now. Okay. Yeah, I think at one point I didn't really rely on the bars down here being in the correct positions, but that was probably like 7 years ago. And then I found out how to swap them, and it's been just a crutch ever since, I guess. Lucid Phoenix for MaNa, who got that sentry pretty quickly here, sees the Nexus being put down, and Harstem will follow up with his own Lucid Phoenix. So we might actually have a decent macro game, both Nexus. So it's more of a macro game than the other games. Robo on the way for Harstem. Nothing yet for MaNa. Okay, so throwing down a Robo and his Spelly Council at the same time, which is what he did in the first game. In the first game, I was like, oh, I thought it might be a Forge. Well, it ended up being Blink, and a Blink attack that was pretty brutal. And by last game, I mean versus the last series. It was pretty brutal, and it followed up with Disruptors, which were the real killer, you know. you punch the guy in the face and he's kind of like doubled over, holding his gut, and you kick him in the nuts. That's what the disruptors were. So maybe he'll do it again. Harstem going for a pretty quick warp prism of his own and provide a lot of harassment opportunities. Probably with these adepts. There you go. And is also going for Twilight Council now. So Forge. Oh no, Forge. Wait, did Forge come down? No, it didn't. Did it? I don't think it did. We'll see if he actually uses it. Okay. So maybe not going to be dedicated to the attack as much. I think he also... Yeah, he delayed these gases as well because Need got a hallucination in and saw no gases. And that's why I was like, oh, what do you think it is? I think the Resident Glaives build uses a third gas, not a fourth, for instance. A charge it all in would just not have a forge at all and no gases at all. But okay, so he immediately goes into chronoing that. So yeah, not as much of an attack as that game versus Neeb. Still getting an extra couple of gateways, and he will provide the pressure. Faster third base can be gotten from this as well, but Harstem going for... Ooh, maybe he's going to go for Charged Archon. He's not getting any Immortals. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. So maybe an Immortal eventually, but we did see a decent amount of this in Katowice, where Immortals are still a standard in PvP for a reason, and we're literally talking about Blink Stalkers right now. But we saw a decent amount of the Koreans, especially, I think, that were going for pretty much just Charged Archon. You might be like, oh, our Immortals are so important. Well, actually, Archons are probably more important. You know, charge lots wrap around Immortals. Immortals feel a little more useless than ever. Immortals do damage to Archons, like a fair amount, but they don't really rip through them as much as they would against, like, for instance, Stalkers, again. So you're kind of taking away the power of the Immortal, I guess is what I'm getting at. Now, it flips again. The longer the game goes, the more you both have Archons. If having 20 Archons on the front lines is protecting 10 Immortals behind them, that's probably the stronger composition. There we go. Composition than the guy who has a 20, 30 charge lots. But that's way in the future. Right now, MaNa has to worry about an overwhelming number of charge lots attacking into his army, which is not really Immortals. Talking a lot about Immortals. We actually have no Immortals for either player. But what we do have is Blink Stalkers. And no Archons. Quite yet. He does have the Temple Archives. Both of them do. But Harstem will have a ton more charge lots. He's not getting a third Nexus. 400 more minerals for him. And I don't... Does he start +2? I don't think so, right? MaNa might have gotten Blink, but he actually very quickly he recognized what was going on. He did not warp in more and more Blink Stalkers and try and control the map. And they both have been scouting each other a lot. They all saw how many gateways they had. Harstem knows about the third Nexus here. He saw the amount of Blink Stalkers as well, so while he might have been like, oh, it's a Blink opener, I'll crush his Blink attack and then counter. That didn't really ever happen. He made an okay number of Stalkers, but then just went right into charge and right into his own similar composition. And I guess now that they both have not attacked each other with pure either Archon charge lot or Stalkers, they both are going into a more standard PvP composition. So they did start Immortals eventually. And, well, Harstem does start his +2. His third base is considerably later. He knows that. He's going to try and get that killed rather. Or at the very least, not mining very much. Another hallucination coming for that War Prism. It's a thing, man. It's the new thing. If you're not doing this on Europe, man, you're not cool. Up here, the industry has such a weird attack path. Down to the south, getting to a bit of a choke. No shield batteries available over here for MaNa. Lots of Stalkers coming in a bit late to the party. Charge lots from Harstem, backed up by their Archons, I think a little bit better than his opponent, but then it turns around in that instance. Now the Concave going a little bit more favorably, but Archon's still alive here for Harstem, still reinforcing, has a Zealot that's being lazy inside of a War Prism. What the hell, man? Oh, Blink Forward, that's used. That's what Blink Stalkers are used for right there. Now that was a pretty bold Blink Forward, but it was good enough. GG. Harstem unable to push through with that attack. And MaNa moves on. So still the king of the Protoss. And now the Liquid representative. That was a bit weird, though, For sure. That was weird. I feel like Harstem was prepping for a blink.